Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying back in time to one of the most chaotic yet fascinating periods in Chinese history, the Three Kingdoms era. You've probably heard the names Cao Cao, Liu Bei, or Zhuge Liang, maybe from the epic novel romance of the Three Kingdoms or popular video games. But what was this period really like? How did a once mighty dynasty collapse into a century of conflict that would reshape China forever? Let's set the stage. We're in the late 2nd century AD. The Han Dynasty, which had ruled China for over 400 years, is crumbling from within. The emperors are weak, controlled by eunuchs and corrupt officials. The government is broke, and the peasants are suffering under heavy taxes and famine. This widespread misery creates a fertile ground for rebellion. And that's exactly what happens in the year 184 AD. A massive peasant uprising, known as the Yellow Turban Rebellion, erupts across the country. Led by a Taoist mystic named Zhongzhu, millions of desperate people, wearing yellow scarves on their heads to show their allegiance, rise up against the Han government. They believe the blue sky of the Han is dead and the yellow sky of a new age is at hand. The Han court is thrown into panic. They are too weak to suppress the rebellion on their own. So they do something that will have disastrous consequences. They grant regional governors and local strongmen the authority to raise their own private armies to fight the rebels. While this strategy eventually crushes the Yellow Turban Rebellion, it's like putting out a fire with gasoline. Why? Because now the country is filled with powerful warlords, each with their own loyal army. These men, having tasted power, are not about to simply give it up and go home. The emperor becomes a mere puppet, and the real power lies with whoever controls the largest army. The stage is set for a massive, nationwide power struggle. Out of this chaos, dozens of warlords emerge, all vying for control. Figures like the ambitious and ruthless Dong Zhuo seize the capital, holding the young emperor hostage. Others, like the brilliant strategist Cao Cao, the noble-born Yuan Shao, and the tiger of Jiangdong's son Jian, form coalitions to challenge him. But these alliances are fragile, built on shifting loyalties and personal ambition. Soon, the warlords turn on each other, and China descends into a brutal free-for-all. This period sees constant warfare, betrayal, and incredible stories of heroism and tragedy. It's a time when a person's cunning and military might mean more than their noble birthright. It's during these initial years of conflict that the main players of our story begin to build their power bases. In the north, Cao Cao, a man of immense military and administrative talent, gradually consolidates his control over the fertile Central Plains, the traditional heartland of China. He is a pragmatist, a poet, and a brilliant general, often portrayed as a vil. He gathers a court of talented advisors and generals, laying the foundation for what will become the Kingdom of Wei. Meanwhile, in the southwest, a distant relative of the Han imperial family named Liu Bei struggles to make his mark. He is portrayed as a virtuous and benevolent leader, a man of the people. His journey is a true underdog story. For years, he has no land to his name, relying on the kindness of other warlords. But he has two things going for him: his sworn brothers, the legendary warriors Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, and an unyielding desire to restore the Han dynasty. His fortunes change dramatically when he finally recruits one of history's greatest minds, the master strategist Zhuge Liang. With Zhuge Liang's guidance, Liu Bei carves out his own territory in the mountainous region of Shu, establishing the kingdom of Shuhut. And in the southeast, along the mighty Yangtze River, the Sun family establishes a formidable maritime power, started by Sun Jian and solidified by his son's Sun Ce and later Sun Quan. Their kingdom, known as Eastern Wu, is protected by the river and boasts a powerful navy. They are skilled at defending their territory and play a crucial role as the third power, balancing the ambitions of Wei and Shu. The defining moment that solidifies this three-way split is the legendary Battle of Red Cliffs in 208 AD. Cao Cao, having unified the north, leads a massive army south, intending to conquer the rest of China. He seems unstoppable, but at Red Cliffs, the allied forces of Liu Bei and Sun Quan, though vastly outnumbered, use brilliant strategy, fire ships, deception, and knowledge of the terrain to inflict a devastating defeat on Cao Cao's fleet. This victory halts Cao Cao's southern advance and cements the division of China into three spheres of influence. The three kingdoms have officially arrived. For the next 60 years, these three kingdoms Wei in the north, Shu in the west, and Wu in the east are locked in a complex dance of diplomacy and warfare. There are epic battles, daring raids, and intricate political maneuvers. Zhuge Liang leads multiple northern expeditions from Shu, trying to conquer Wei and fulfill Liu Bei's dream of restoring the Han. The border between Wei and Wu becomes a constant battleground. Alliances are made and broken. It's a stalemate where no single kingdom is strong enough to conquer the other two. This era also saw significant military innovation. The constant warfare led to the rise of a professional, hereditary military class. It wasn't just about drafting peasants anymore. It was about cultivating families of soldiers who passed their skills from one generation to the next. New weapons, siege tactics, and formations were developed, forever changing the face of Chinese warfare. But all things must come to an end. The first kingdom to fall is Shu. After the deaths of its founding generation, including Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang, Shu struggles to maintain its strength. In 263 AD, the powerful Wei kingdom, now effectively controlled by the Sima family, launches a surprise invasion and conquers Shu. Shortly after, the Sima family formally overthrows the Wei emperor, establishing their own dynasty, the Jin dynasty. Now, only two kingdoms remain, the newly formed Jin in the north and Wu in the south. The final chapter comes in 280 AD, when the Jin forces launch a massive invasion of Wu. After decades of holding out, Wu finally surrenders. China is reunified under the Jin dynasty, and the Three Kingdoms period officially comes to a close. But the story doesn't end there. The legacy of the Three Kingdoms is immense, far exceeding its actual historical duration. The tales of its heroes and villains were passed down through generations of storytellers, eventually being compiled in the 14th century into one of China's four great classical novels, Romance of the Three Kingdoms. This novel, a masterful blend of history and fiction, romanticized the era's events and characters. It cemented Liu Bei as the benevolent hero, Cao Cao as the cunning villain, and Zhuge Liang as a near-mythical strategist who could command the wind. It's this version of the story that has profoundly shaped how we see the era today and has influenced literature, opera, movies, and video games across East Asia and the world. So, the Three Kingdoms was more than just a period of war. It was a crucible that forged new political structures, advanced military science, and inspired a cultural legacy that continues to captivate us nearly 2,000 years later. It's a timeless story of ambition, loyalty, betrayal, and the struggle for power in a world turned upside down. What do you find most fascinating about the Three Kingdoms era? Is there a particular character or battle you'd like to learn more about? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into history, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. See you next time.